Welcome to the channel. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Today we're looking at a brand new release by Cadisen. This is the C8239 and it's a particularly interesting watch to me anyway. It's a model after my own heart. Same inspiration for my own watch, which I'll be able to give you guys some final updates very soon. Okay, so the first thing on this Cadisen, it's the price. In the current sale, this is sitting at a ridiculous £46. And no, my one won't be as low as this. And I don't even get how they do this. It's absolutely bonkers. So with this one, you get a mineral domed top hat crystal, which for 46 quid, fine. We don't need a sapphire. You also have 100 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown and a screw down exhibition case back. There's also a curved bezel insert. It doesn't really feel like glass. Maybe it's acrylic or a type of plastic. And the movement using this is a Seiko NH35 automatic movement, and the watch comes with this cloth strap. Now question is it still better than the Swatch collaboration that we've seen? You guys get to decide that. So with this watch, they have a new type of box for this watch specifically. I do like the new box, very nice and smart, and it's not overly huge. And to be honest as well, they have been overdue a new box. Their previous boxes were incredibly cheap, so it is a good move. Now in terms of colorways, we've got a total of 4 different versions. The one in hand is this blue with a light blue fume dial. You also got a grey dial with blue accents and a grey bezel insert. There's also a black with steel case and a black dial with a black PVD case. Now regarding dimensions, it's 42.5 millimeters across with a 12.5 millimeters thickness, which is quite good. A lug to lug of 48 millimeters and a 22 millimeter lug width. All very reasonable and proportionate. Now let's check the other finer details. And I mean, I know it's less than 50 quid, but I still need to follow the usual review process. Now with regards to the dial, it is quite a nice dial. The texture is that rough, grainy texture, but it does have a lovely fume pattern. It's very light in the center and it does darken it around the edges. And you've got quite good printing as well. Great clarity on all the printed features, including the minute track and all the text. And then you have that Cadisen logo above the Cadisen name. Now the markers are a mix of Arabics and pointers with a polished frame around them. And these polished frames, they don't look metal, they do look quite plastic and they're very shiny. But you also got a framed date window between the 4 and 5 pointers, which is finished really well. Handset wise, the hands are fully polished with a slight crease in the center, so they don't come across as really flat. That would really spoil the look for me. And then you've got that arrow tipped second hand. This one is finished with a dark blue or perhaps a black tip. It's really hard to tell from here. The length for me is absolutely spot on. I do like the tapering on the handset as well, and they do extend that all the way to the minute track. Really good to see, even at a low price point, the smaller details like this have been captured. Zoom wise, it's not great, but it is visible. Definitely needs a lot more layering, but it works and it's okay for a watch at this level. Now next we move on to the other aesthetics. Like the mineral crystal, I do like the domage and the curved edges. This semi top hat style crystal really works with the watch. And it's a really low dome crystal as well. No doubt, due to the shape, a mineral crystal was a cheaper choice. Now, the way it sits inside that curved edge bezel is the iconic look you really want. And as I said about the bezel insert, I don't think it's glass, and it really doesn't give off that glass type of feel. So it might be acrylic or something similar. Now, in terms of design and finish on the bezel, it is a little rough around the edges. It hasn't been refined further around that scalloping that you see on the edge, but it is brushed and it's actually quite slim as well. Rotation wise, it's got a really good and smooth rotation. It is quite light, but the clicks do actually sound nice. Now the alignment is a little off and you do have a tiny bit of play in that bezel. Now moving on to the case, you'll find that it is fully brushed with the lugs having a circular brushed grain. Now the sides have a linear grain which is much finer. The brushing is actually very smooth along the sides of the case and is very consistent and not at all representative of how low the price is. The crown is a little small, so the tip of your thumb does touch the bezel edge and you will move that bezel while adjusting the time, but it has really good machining, deep cut grooves, and the logo is also present, and it looks much better than if they had a polished crown. And those stubby crown guards are a good way to make them less pronounced against that case. Now what I really do like about the case is that side profile, it does look like it's spread down and it's reasonably thin. Now the case does have nice curves as well. The only thing I'm not too sure about is these little bits on the side of the crown guards. Now the edges are visible and I feel it would look a little better if it was slightly blended in a bit more. Now I realize due to the case shape, this area does stick out a little, but they've made it kind of part of the case, if that makes sense, and I don't really like it, which is just subjective to me. Some might actually like it, so it's worth a mention. Now the case back is a usual exhibition style with the model number and specifications, plain and simple OEM style. You don't actually have drill lugs with the case or even a quick release on the strap. Now when it comes to the strap, yes, it does match the colorway and it is decent, but it's not to my liking. It does have brushed steel hardware, but I really don't like these cloth straps. I much prefer a decent rubber strap. So I went ahead and changed it to one of the straps that I keep here with me. The strap is a much nicer strap. I much prefer the rubber, and this strap in particular does have a really nice texture, sort of mimicking that, I say fabric sort of weave. However, I'm not too sure if it fits this colorway. Maybe on the black version, it'll sit a lot better. But the beauty with this is with that coloration you can have vibrant colors. You can obviously match it up with a blue or a light blue or even perhaps a gray strap. Now on wrist, the watch sits really well. The dimensions are compact enough to still look good on a wrist size smaller 6.5 inches to bigger wrists. It does actually sit quite flat as the case shape is spread out and you've got really good presence. And this colorway is actually quite eye-catching and it does stand out in a really good way. Now the watch is also quite light and much easier to wear with smaller dimensions. Now, to summarize, on this watch as it is, I think it's decent. Obviously, there is room to improve. Also, I know Cadisen didn't release it at £46. This is an AliExpress discount. Not sure what the initial price was, but I'm guessing it's going to be around the £80 or something mark, which is what they usually sit at. So what my thoughts are is it's this mentality of making things cheaper rather than making them better. If Cadisen came out and added around £30 to £50 worth of refinement, i.e. a real high quality dial, bezel function to be a bit tighter, using a sapphire bezel, using a sapphire crystal, and then adding a decent strap, I don't think people won't pay the increased amount, and I think it would push them up slightly. And that's a good thing with AliExpress. In terms of brand value, these brands are free to move around. If brands make high-end watches, they move up, just like Seastern and San Martin and the likes. Now, Cadisen, they want to stay in this lower end of the band, but they're going up against heavy duty competition with Addies Dive and Watch Dives, which they can't compete with yet. Now, even regarding someone like Watch Dives, they've pushed their prices up gradually, but they have also significantly improved the quality of their products to match. Cadisen has been around what seems forever, and I don't get why they just want to sit in this area. But it's a cool design to bring out in a much more wearable case, just needs those few improvements. What about you guys? What are your thoughts? Let us all know below in the comments section. Now that's it for me today. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you on the next video.